Driving under the influence, or DUI, is a serious problem that affects people every day. The devastating effects can be seen in the countless accidents and fatalities that occur every year. Stories like Jacqueline Sabatarido's should serve as a cautionary piece of history. Instead, many of you choose to ignore the implications of your actions and continue to put lives at risk by being reckless and driving while intoxicated. Since this seems to be an ongoing problem where others have no regard for human life, our DUI laws must be questioned and reassessed. So what exactly gets you arrested for this offense? Some of us hope a sip would do the trick, but we aren't that lucky. If your blood alcohol concentration levels exceed 0.08%, then you are considered impaired and should not operate a vehicle. The only exception is Utah, where the percent threshold is 0.05%. Go Utah. DUI laws are typically enforced within state jurisdiction. This means that the offender will be charged based on the state's DUI laws. Exceptions do exist, such as if you are caught driving under the influence on federal lands. In such a case, the subject will then be charged with a federal DUI. Each state has varying degrees of their DUI laws, such as minimum jail time, fines, license suspension, community service, and even required ignition interlock devices. It's difficult to determine which state has the harshest and most lenient laws, since every state picks and chooses which penalties to emphasize over others. But one thing is for sure, none are harsh enough. As mentioned earlier, every year thousands of people are killed or injured in drunk driving accidents. They are preventable, and that's why we need stronger DUI laws. Research shows that stronger policies may reduce alcohol-related crash fatalities. There are some lawmakers calling for federal DUI laws. These laws would create a consistent set of penalties and definitions across the country, making it easier for law enforcement to enforce them and for people to understand them. Of course, as with anything, not everyone agrees on this issue. Some people argue that DUI laws should be left up to the states, while others believe that federal laws are necessary to ensure consistency and fairness. But when you consider the fact that drunk driving accidents are a national problem, it's clear that we need a national solution. We can't afford to have different standards for different states when it comes to something as serious as drunk driving, especially when some of these states have weak-ass penalties. So what type of law should be implemented nationwide for driving impaired? We propose a zero-tolerance policy. Research shows there's a strong relationship between lowering the BAC limit and deterring alcohol-related crashes. That said, we would like to see a BAC limit of 0.01. If any alcohol is detected, then this is considered a DUI or DWI. Obviously, police officers won't know a driver is impaired unless their driving behavior reflects impairment, but that isn't relevant. If pulled over and the subject is suspected of driving impaired, the officers conduct a field sobriety test. And if the breathalyzer detects any amount of alcohol, then the police officer will arrest the subject for driving with alcohol in their system. This test will be the officer's greatest asset in detecting trace amounts beyond 0.01%. This will be an unpopular opinion, but ask me if I care. Nope. If convicted of a DUI, the offender will serve a minimum sentence of 5 years in a low-level security prison. You heard that shit right. Locked up for 5 years. We would rather see mandatory minimums for non-violent drug offenders eliminated, and instead replace it with drug offenders who either harm or can potentially harm others due to their substance abuse. Like that dumb shit people do, driving while drunk. As if the alcohol consumption isn't stupid enough. You gotta add a layer of stupidity. If convicted of a DUI, the subject will be charged with a felony. No more of this slap on the rock misdemeanor garbage. That doesn't teach anyone anything other than letting them know that consequences are weak. There's a reason why people have multiple DUIs on their record. So how can we make a change? It starts with contacting your representatives and demanding change. Let them know that we support federal DUI laws. Your state representatives can then propose a bill. Spread the word on social media and encourage others to get involved. And share this shit. These ideas are no doubt extreme, but so is driving drunk. So before you decide to be a piece of shit and choose to drive intoxicated, don't forget the victims of drunk driving.